Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey London.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees. You were told nice girls finish last, but what if being nice was never the problem? What if the real problem was everything women were taught to give up in order to win? Their voice, their boundaries, their ambition, even themselves. In Nice Girls Win, I challenge the invisible contracts women have been honoring without ever agreeing to them. This isn't a book about becoming harder, louder, or less like yourself. It's your permission slip to lead with confidence, use kindness as your competitive advantage, and build success that actually feels good. Because nice girls don't finish last, nice girls win. So Jeff, I have had some travel woes.
Have you ever?
Have you ever seen that movie with George Clooney? Is it called Up? Up and
No,
Away?
no.
Something? Producer.
What?
Okay, so it's the
George
one where
Clooney?
he
I
travels.
know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah.
And he's just like so irritated at everybody else traveling
Mhm.
that he's just got a lot of system. Well, that's
Up in the air.
me.
You were very close. Up in
Up,
the
I
air.
also really like Up too.
Hey, I was gonna say, I was like,
Like
Up is
that's one
definitely
of
a
my
Pixar
favorite
film.
movies.
Okay.
I think it'd be fun to be in a house with like a lot of balloons and just take off. Anyway, so that's kind of a different type of air travel.
Yeah.
So I'm that gal at the airport that's like, if somebody has an actual water bottle in their bag and they're trying to go through security, I'm like, get out of
Amateur
here.
hour.
Get
Amateurs.
out.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got stuck at the airport for like, I don't want to say like 8 hours in my hometown trying to get to DC. And then I just finally went home. And I've never sat in an airport and then got back in my car and went home. You know,
Yeah.
have you?
Yeah. Literally never in my life. Never,
Yeah, it was
never a
a treat.
once. That okay, so did you ever envision yourself waiting in an airport for that long?
No, and it was like a time warp because I was like, how is it 7? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm still here.
and I am so impatient, but I needed to get
Mhm.
my ass to DC and I didn't. But here's the
I feel like
question.
really quick, the rules don't apply in the same way when you're connecting, I feel like if you've
Yes.
already gone somewhere, then it's like in between, what
Yes.
happens? Who the hell
You can't
knows?
but now
Like
I'm
can't control this.
can't
I'm
control.
subject to the whims of the airlines.
Hmm.
Like it is what it is. But not even getting on the like
Not getting there.
that's
So my
yeah.
question is like, what is your go-to airport snack?
Oh, this is excellent.
Because do you panic? Are you a snack panicker?
Oh
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
you're
Yes, yeah.
like,
No,
oh
I
my
have
God, if
to.
you're flying
No, it's
coach,
like
you're
a
like, I
security
don't think I
blanket.
can make
I
it.
I will have a snack. I will
Mhm.
absolutely purchase a snack in advance. But I like a little snack before I get on the plane too.
Yeah, you
So
do.
I feel like if I can find a like I know. Whatever. I don't care. I'll
Do
do it.
it.
If I can find like an acai bowl, I do really like an
That's
acai
really
bowl.
California.
I know.
Okay,
I know. I
whatever.
really do
Okay.
enjoy that. I will settle for a smoothie if I have to.
Okay.
And then like if the mood strikes, an, an Annie's pretzel.
Yes. No, those are bomb.
No,
The
it's so
little
fucking
ones,
good.
the little ones.
Oh, the little
And they're
bites?
like
Sure,
dipped in
sure. No,
butter and just like how
that is a great option. But I feel like
that
I'm more
hits.
of the traditional, like I want a salted pretzel and I
Oh,
and a fountain Diet Coke and I'm like good to go before
damn.
the
I'm
flight.
going with you.
But then for the flight, my recent go-to is tahine coated gummy bears.
Oh, dear God.
Holy shit. So I knew, I mean, like if you are in the gummy section of
Yeah,
where the air,
life. Yeah.
they have had for the longest time, at least in California, but I've seen them in New York, I've seen them other places. They had like the watermelon rings
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
tahine. Like
Oh,
that
yeah,
is
I've seen
a
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. But now gummy bears, and it is next level.
No way. Is it
I'm
super spicy?
I'm
Are they dipped in tahini? Like they're coated.
they're coated, so it's like all around,
Oh,
but it's not super spicy. Like it's just enough, and it's
all
got the like
right. I can
citrusy
be talked
tang.
into
Like
that.
it is
You
so good.
know, you know what I put tahini on? Cottage cheese.
Oh,
Mm.
I mean that would. I
Girls
mean,
got to get our
well, I was
protein.
gonna say you gotta get the protein in, and I feel like honestly, tahini on most things makes it better anyway. So I love that. But I'm saying if you can find the tahine gummy bears, and it's like the tahine branded like
Whoa.
it's
It's
not
not
like a
Haribo,
no, it's not like a
Haribo.
knockoff whatever. So yeah, that's my go-to.
Damn.
What is your
Well,
airplane
the Madison
go-to?
airport is way limited. There is no acai, there is no smoothie, there are no tahine gummy bears.
I feel like, but they do have that surprisingly large store in the like main terminal
They do,
with the
but I
cheesehead
mean,
stuff.
I just panic and like get Cheez-Its or
Anything.
something. Like, fuck.
Cheeses are so good
I
though,
like it. I like
especially
the
on a plane.
burnt
Okay,
ones.
wait. Hold on. We're really truth telling.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Say this. Combos. And
No.
really, no, yes. Like the straight up cheese ones or
Oh
the
my
pizza
God.
flavored ones. Every once in a while. It's not like my every
You were gonna
time,
say pizza. I
but
knew
yeah,
it.
pizza flavored
Oh God, you
combos.
could
When
die from
okay,
one of those.
but to what I was saying earlier, when you were like when you were connecting and there's maybe a delay, like it's like who
You're like,
knows
do it.
where the
It
wind's
doesn't
gonna
count.
take
It's like
me.
doesn't
Exactly.
count.
It doesn't
Yeah.
so that is again, I will do the right thing and get like an acai bowl.
And
But
then
then
dip your combos
then
in
I
it.
will also get in on that. And then it's in your bag and you're like, oh, I've got a combo. And then invariably for me,
Uh-uh.
that bag gets smushed and then it's like fucking garbage. It's
Oh,
worthless. Then
because you
those
need the
pretzels
whole
are, yeah, you
circle.
need the whole little log guy. Because if it's the pieces, what's the point? So yeah,
I feel
sorry.
unwell. I haven't had a combo in
Nobody
35
should.
years,
No one
40 years,
should.
47 years. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
I
actually going to
recommend
get them
maybe
next
you
time.
probably should on your
Hang on.
your next trip.
I love that you said a pepperoni or a pizza combo. That's
I
savage.
I can't. I mean, the heart wants what it wants, you know?
And your better half, who is in the medical profession, is probably like,
Horrified. She's like, "What are you
uh,
doing? What are you doing?"
uh,
But then I'm gonna blow
does
her
she
spot
snip
up.
one? Does she sneak
She
one?
will. Because she would never do it. Never.
Will?
Same thing about the Diet Coke. She will never get a soda. Never, ever.
No.
But will she have a sip? And is it a generous sip?
It's like a gateway drug. Like she can't do it. She can't.
She will not. Too principled. But goddamn, will she
I
have a
love
sip?
that about her. That's incredible.
The
Strong
discipline
will,
that
that one.
I was gonna say that I do not possess. So
I also want to bring up on a totally different. Oh, well, I didn't share mine.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
you
did. The burnt
the
Cheez-Its, the
burnt
ones that are
cheese. Yeah,
extra crispy.
yeah, the
And then
extra.
I can do like a hummus and the little
Oh
bleh.
yeah. The
I
Sabra.
don't they need to refine and get better options where I'm at, to be
I
fair.
w- you yeah
I
that
want to press juice,
obviously yes, that's a solid.
obviously.
Yep, that's very California of you.
Uh-huh. Like Joe and the Juice, Joe Juice. That's the
Mm-hmm.
one I want.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was just curious because I probably plowed through a lot of snacks.
In your 8 hour layover, which isn't a layover when you're not going
It's just
anywhere.
a over. It's just
Yeah,
a
it's just
lay.
a
I
lay.
don't know. I laid for 8 hours.
uh,
Okay. I have something beauty news. So I
mhm.
don't know if you know that my signature fragrance is a Joe Malone saffron.
I I knew that it was Joe Malone because I think we've said it, but I don't think you revealed that it was saffron. Saffron's
Well,
quite. It
it's
was something else
spicy.
before, right?
Yeah, it was something else. I can't remember, but
Saffron's
saffron.
new
And
news
now I have to buy it on like Amazon or like eBay.
because it doesn't. Is it been
It's gone.
discontinued?
Yeah. So that's a
Wow,
panic. That's like getting on a flight without a water bottle.
that's
Your signature scent is gone.
that
It's
is
left the
tough.
planet. Yeah.
They're like,
So
well, shouldn't be your signature, is what
I want to say
a
though,
brand's
like
telling you.
if I'm their target audience, they just did
Hmm.
an exclusive with their latest fragrance and they did it with a Fortnite game. Do you feel
Hmm.
like that's kind of a stretch?
Kind of.
Because I mean, my
Kind of a
kids are
stretch. But your
doing
kids are not gonna
Fortnite.
get a Joe Malone fragrance.
No, a sea salt and bergamot
Nah,
cologne.
nah.
And I just
So
feel like that's not a good collab. Do you? They're
when
trying to reach new
no,
generations, but like, so
no,
it's like it's a gaming activation, and it's basically like there's a little Joe Malone like fishing
nah,
house or hut, and
nah,
you get the sea salt,
that
and
doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
know if you
Nope,
have to go in and like
nope,
get it.
nope.
But
You've lost me. I've
that's a big
tumbled down
miss.
1000%. I from the lead image in this link alone, I thought we were doing some sort of like Widow's Bay collaboration, which I would have loved.
Fortnite. It's Fortnite,
Fortnite, no.
just so you know.
Doesn't make
So
a
anyway, I just had to bring that to everyone's attention that I think that it's a big miss.
yeah. When if you're gonna do a collab that's a splash sheet, like make it make sense. I feel like
Target
that's
audience.
the
Yeah,
minimum, probably. Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay, let's make some sense of some other stuff. So,
Mm.
welcome to the fine print, the conversations women are actually having. Once the Zoom ends, the Slack goes quiet, and everyone stops pretending everything's fine. Each week, we're breaking down a story from culture, business, beauty, or the workplace that says a lot more than the headline itself. I've got a good one today, and this is
Oh,
really interesting. So, have you ever heard of the queen bee syndrome?
I don't think so.
So the queen bee syndrome is this headline is saying it's the workplace dynamic holding women back.
Mm.
And I found this interesting and very sad because it is 2026, last I
Mhm.
checked.
Is it?
And the thought is that it's not uncommon for junior female employees to encounter women in senior roles who seem distant, unsupportive, or even actively competitive. Queen
Mm.
Bee. Queen Bee
Mm.
appeared in a 1973 study.
Damn.
Can you do the math on that? What's 2026 minus 1973?
50
Okay.
something.
It was used to describe women who actively resisted changes in traditional gender roles. The name stuck, which is the problem. And Queen Bee is constructed as a woman who stings other women to protect her throne,
Damn.
which places a responsibility on unequal career outcomes, right? So it's like a total double standard. They're competing against men,
And
which is
then
normal and even encouraged, but then women should naturally be allies and not basically morally failing each other. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I think that
It's not crazy.
it's 2026 that it's yeah. Yeah,
But the fact that they're
unfortunate.
referencing a 1973 study,
Yeah, that it's still something that, but I feel like that's something we've gotten to in these conversations, which is like corporate America, particular, like business has not
yeah,
really advanced much, and particularly in a way that advantages women. I mean, it really does
totally.
quite the opposite, and it's such a fucking shame. The stinging part is so tough
Stings to protect.
because we've all seen it. We all know this
Oh, I've been
dynamic.
stung 1,000 times.
And
I've been stung by women who loved it,
well, that I mean, that's
which
the part
is,
that's not said in this.
yeah, they love it.
But I mean, like some people really do take that queen bee role quite seriously and can't even imagine,
Yeah.
it differently, which is
Hmm.
so tough. And I mean, yeah, and I know that that's not what you're about, but
No.
yeah, yeah.
But think about it with our industry too.
Hmm.
Like I can
Hmm.
hypothetically imagine that you come into a salon, you're the new junior stylist or apprentice, and there is a queen bee.
Or there can be.
Can be, there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Not assumed that there is.
Yep.
But you can see, and it doesn't even have to be corporate America. It can be everywhere. And I think we need to do better. We
Yeah.
have to do better. This is awful, right? Let's do better to everyone in the room. Instead of stinging them, why don't you give them some honey?
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Honey,
But bees don't eat honey. They
well,
make it.
I mean, whatever.
Do
It
they
works
eat
for the
it?
analogy, I think.
Yeah, I had to do
Yeah.
it.
No, I applaud that. But literally, I'm just thinking about this. Olivia Rodrigo had a lyric about honey recently, and so does
Yeah,
Ariana Grande. Like there's something in the
something
ether.
there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Give honey, honey, honey.
All right, let's get into obsessed or over it. If we could, guys, we're gonna react to product services trends. You know this. We're gonna decide if they're a hit or if they're a miss. We're gonna break down what's worth the hype, what's not, giving you our honest takes. Follow along the show notes, go to our Instagram, you'll see these things as we're seeing them for the first time. The first item that we've got here in the list is Sterling Point textured hair inspo.
Hmm.
So are you watching Sterling Point?
No.
No.
Are you?
I'm not, but I can't escape the advertising and or marketing around it, so I probably should.
What's it on?
Prime?
Oh,
Can we get a
I'm
phone
gonna
a
write
friend
that. I'm gonna write that down.
producer?
Yes, Prime.
Yeah, it's Prime. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, I don't know what it is. This is the one about the grandma, isn't it? Question mark.
Producer? I
The
don't know.
grandfather, somebody died. I don't know if it's the
Yeah, so
grandfather.
I continue to get this one digital ad where it's like something about a grandparent. And then I like
Yeah,
swipe away.
so
I'm like,
basically
I can't.
this family, like the main character is adopted with her brother,
Oh.
this mom. The
Hmm.
mom dies, I'm pretty sure, and maybe the grandpa. I don't know if that's the same time or different times. But
Hmm.
in her whatever will they're reading, it says like go to my house on this island. It's yours, basically. She goes to the house on the
Oh.
island and finds like someone's living there.
Hmm.
And it turns out that it's her mother's biological daughter. And then it's like there's whole like her, I don't know. I would say it seems like I haven't watched it, but coming
Sure.
of age story kind of between them, like
Well,
family.
now I feel like you totally gave it all away.
Well, I don't actually, I don't
She
know what
doesn't
else
know
happens
anymore.
beyond
There's nothing
that.
more to give away. That's fair.
Unclear.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
So
well,
There's
I
like
mean, the
falling in
textured
love,
hair.
apparently. I've seen some clips of people falling in love in situations. Girl
interesting.
tries to, she's like, "You're not my sister because you're adopted," and that's a whole drama. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. That's tough.
But the hair,
The hair's great. I mean,
the
she's
textured
got
hair is fantastic.
we love this.
Love.
Yeah. I mean,
Obsessed.
yeah, the TikTok we're looking at is saying that it's the main character. I would agree. In all of these
Totally
scenes, her
agree.
hair looks incredible. Yeah. No,
I don't
this
know if
is,
you've noticed, but I've been doing
I
a
was gonna
lot
say
more.
it is very similar to what you've got going
Mhm,
on.
I do.
So there's that. All right. We're both
Even
obsessed.
though,
That was
yeah, you
easy.
told me to put my hair up because it didn't look good.
Well,
It didn't look good.
it did not
No,
necessarily
it
look
was
like
not
that character.
representative of the teas.
That's sure.
It was off brand.
We we edited. All right, next up.
Yeah,
This is
what
something
is
this
this?
is something we covered ourselves. Tumble Hair. So K18 in their most recent activation took
Hmm.
to New York with a giant
So
hairball,
good.
a huge hairball, and it's supposed to represent the hair that New Yorkers would or do
Whew.
lose without using Future IQ, which is their serum, which of course we've talked about here on this pod. Um, what would you do if you saw this in real life? Because it's one thing to
Be
see it
filled with
like this is a
joy.
real
Ah,
thing. Like you
I
lose that when you're
love
like
it.
looking at it.
I
I
love
would
it.
freak the fuck out. I
I
would
mean,
be
where did it? It's such a good activation.
yeah.
Like it's so good.
It is huge. Cannot be under like it
I
is.
mean, I want to like help construct it. Like, look at the wefts in there and like everything.
I don't want to touch it.
Smarties.
I don't want to be anywhere. I wonder what it smells like after being rolled
Don't you just think?
around.
Oh God, it's so good. And how do they get like honestly the zoning to do that?
I don't know because they have
I
a big
mean,
ass truck that they drove
yeah,
around the city. I mean, again, shout out to the marketing team at K18. We do love this. Not sponsored to talk about this at all. I'm obsessed with it. Although I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid
you're
of it.
afraid of it, but
Tumble
I'm
hair.
not afraid of their new product. We actually
No.
had the exclusive on it.
We did. And I've got a 3 month sample, which I've started, and you'll get a post about that, gang. We'll see sort of what happens with my own. I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I am doing it as directed, because I want to see sort of results for myself. I want to really quickly, we've
Mm-hmm.
established that we're both obsessed with this. We posted on our social about this,
Mm-hmm.
and there was an Instagram story question sticker where people were responding, and somebody said, and I said they wanted to let it run them over for real. And I can't
That's
stop thinking about
incredible.
it's
That's
so
you.
funny.
Do you think it's heavy?
I feel like that's the only way to find out, right? Like what it's really made
Honestly,
of.
for real. Like, I was
So
a pretty good piece of content. You're just like, what?
just let it happen. And I feel like that's not what the marketing team at KT wants, but
That was not
I
it.
want that for myself,
But
I
I
think.
want it
I want
for
it for our
them.
friend too,
Same.
for having said that. All right, but we're both
Obsessed.
obsessed. Yep. All right, last thing, certainly
Hmm.
not least, Alabama Rush. The Bama rushing, the Bama rush talk.
Woof.
Are we obsessed with or are we over it? Because this has now been a few years,
Yeah.
and I think we've even said it previously on the pod that, I mean, not as an obsessed or over it, but like we've commented on it. You can't
Yeah.
escape it. It's everywhere.
I feel like, and I know someone
Hmm.
who is going to complete her senior year at Bama and is in a sorority and
Hmm.
had an incredible experience.
Hmm.
I was in a sorority. It was whatever.
Less
But
less incredible.
this is crazy. I mean, talk about the Greek system in itself, branding itself all these years ago to
Hmm.
make something like this so relevant from a social perspective. But I think I would be sad. I think I would feel very competitive
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't I don't I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like if I was put into
What
this
do you not
situation
know?
at
What do you not
such
know?
I don't know.
I'm so.
I feel like it's just you have to be so done up, which I
Oh,
love.
yeah. Okay.
Just
Yeah.
the hair, the makeup, the outfits,
You're
everything.
talking about
And
like
it
the
would be
pressure. It's a
such a
lot to.
spotlight on you.
Yeah.
And your freshman year of college, like that's hard. And to get into the house or not into the house and this one or that one, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of dynamics. I would like to think that there are no queen bees there. Then I'm not scared.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. I
You know
mean,
there are.
and of course there are. I mean, these are
What do
some
you
high
think about
production.
it? This is a
I'm
lot.
over it. I'm over it. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
a
gone too
lot.
far. I think it was charming a couple years ago. Like but I think we've just like continued to up the ante in a way where like the production value, the choreo, like it's so much. It's so like it doesn't seem fun anymore. Is
Yeah, that's
my
what I mean.
POV.
It's like
Yeah.
overwhelming. Like you're
Yeah, it's too
starting
much.
school, you're leaving home, you're meeting
Right,
new
like worry about
friends,
your
and you've got
fucking
to like,
schooling. Like don't worry about the
yeah,
hitting
it's just a
the
lot.
one, two. Yeah, it's a
I
I
mean,
think
I
it's like a
like to
nice to
watch
have.
the
Of
videos, but
course,
it's
who
just
doesn't?
I don't
Who
want to
among
do that.
us?
I don't
No.
want to do it. We're
All right,
over it.
so we're over it. That's fine. It's okay. They can't all be wins.
We're just sad. Just kidding. Today we're joined by Terra Harvell. Terra is the founder and CEO of Harper Ellis Hair Co, an 8-figure beauty brand built on helping stylists create profitable, sustainable careers through premium hair extensions, education, and business strategy. Harvell is working to help salon owners and stylists build stronger businesses, develop leadership skills, and create lasting wealth. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Before we get to my interview with Tara, let's talk Tease Beauty News. This is pretty tectonic, I think,
Yeah.
actually, this thing that we're going to be talking about, which
Yeah.
is the article. Martha Stewart just went rose gold thanks to Chris Appleton. Here's
Hmm.
the formula. Martha Stewart traded her signature blonde for a rose gold blonde, and it is
Hmm.
very pink. Like it's not just like
Yeah,
a
it's
wash. Like
it's
we
more rosy than goldy.
Correct. It is very much in the pink family. And celebrity hairstylist Chris Appleton gave Martha a soft, glossy pink makeover using Schwarzkopf Professional. He described the shade as a balance of pink and gold. Think rose champagne. We have an
Oh,
exclusive quote all up in that piece. And to get the look, he created this bright blonde base with blonde me, then finished with custom Agora vibrance. Yeah, go to the tease for the exact formula. I'm not doing it
I love it.
justice.
Yeah.
But the question is really like, what do you think about this for her? I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I
I mean, she's in her
absolutely love
80s. She can
it.
do whatever the fuck
I
she wants.
She can do whatever the fuck she wants. I mean, she has created an empire. She went to
Mhm,
jail. She came back out.
mhm.
She's friends
And
with Snoop Dogg. I don't know what else we're doing, but like
whatever she
that's a
wants to
life
do.
well lived.
You say that and but it's true. Like if
It's
ever
true.
that were true,
Yeah.
like she's doing it. I love this. I think it's so fun
It's
that
fresh. She looks
yes.
so youthful.
Mhm. That's
She's in her
and not
80s,
it.
you say?
Yes.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
No, she looks incredible.
I mean,
And
granted, she's
she's
had whatever, but I mean, I'm not dodging that because I'm going to be
nope.
there too.
Yep. Yep. And she looks great. She looks
She's
great. And I think that
fantastic.
this is so exciting. And we've said this before, like we don't want boring hair. There has been this like real push towards like sameness and like slick
Yeah,
backs and
no,
clean girl and like this
yeah,
is fun to
it's awesome.
embrace some fun.
I
So
like that
I'm
pink's kind of coming back too.
it really
Like, are we
is.
going to introduce more color and
This is,
vibrancy?
I mean, you and I have said like it comes back around every couple of months, and like
Yes,
here we are as we are sort of working into fall. Like pastel-y
that's
stuff is
lovely.
usually
I
people
love
thinking about
pastels on blondes.
springs, but like this is so
Hmm.
yeah, I'm excited to see what this sort of portends for the industry. And will this be a trend that older women or other blondes take on.
Yeah.
Like let's
But it's
see.
not so shocking. It is literally
No,
just a soft
very
rose
subtle.
gold, which is
Very subtle. So for
beautiful.
people that are worried about like, oh, this is professional or not, or I mean, like you know, you could definitely rock this in a
Martha
professional
is.
quote unquote. Exactly. If she's doing it, anybody could do it. Is kind of
Absolutely.
my POV.
All right, Marissa Machado gave each Jonas Brothers a signature look for the Camp Rock 3 world premiere. The Jonas Brothers are back at Disney for the Camp Rock 3 premiere, and celebrity groomer Marissa Machado gave each brother their own distinct look using statement grooming goods. For Kevin, she created an effortless, messy finish with fiber pomade, focusing on texture and movement. Joe's natural curls were the star, using curl cream to add definition and create that perfect piece falling forward. And Nick Machado used fiber pomade to build volume, shine, and definition while keeping his natural texture and movement.
Hmm.
Three brothers, we know it's three different looks
Hmm.
and plenty of inspiration for barbers and men's groomers. Head to thetease.com for more. Do you have a favorite Jonas brother?
So generally, no. I don't. I'm not a Joe Bro fan. I feel like I
Yeah,
missed that boat.
I did too. I
And
didn't.
yeah, so I didn't really get into it when it was a thing, and like now I certainly am not really into it. But that said, there's a lot of discourse online about these brothers.
They all
As
seem to be very different personalities, right?
yes, yeah. So I think, I mean, people. I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of chatter right now that Kevin is the hottest Jonas brother. And I think in this picture, he's got the best hair of
Let
them.
me, okay, we're gonna have to go. Everybody's gonna need to go look at this and
Hmm.
say for themselves because I no,
You won't go that far to say that
absolutely
Kevin's the
not.
hottest.
No, no, no,
And
no,
I'm
no.
not saying it. I'm saying the internet is saying it, and I would be remiss if I didn't report what I'm seeing being talked about. And so I feel like Joe, everybody talks about Joe and the hair. And
Do
so like
they?
they do. Oh, you're
Nick's
not
kind
into
of
it
fallen
either.
off the radar a little
He
bit, like him and
he has Priyanka. Yeah,
Priyanka. I mean, I was kind of obsessed with that, to
sure. I
be honest.
mean, the
Like
May
you're like,
December of it
what?
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think his hair is just like he's really set in his ways, I think, in terms of the look.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like he did
Yeah,
that
I
buzz
do.
cut thing for, but like the
Yes.
past like 4 or 5, it's been the same sort of thing. So that's what I'm getting at. Of like Joe Jonas definitely experiments. He does the like floppy whatever. He's all Monica's a nicobologist. But anyway, I'm saying if you look at these pictures, I think Kevin's the best groomed of them all. I think that the shape is really flattering. The beard, like I'm saying Kevin,
I do
in
think
this
that his
instance,
grooming is the best. I
yes,
don't
okay,
think he's the
I
hottest.
understand. I got you. But for this, we're saying Kevin
We're just
takes it
looking
home.
at hair.
A
Like,
golden
you're right.
retriever. Wow.
Yes.
Some people like that.
Kevin's a golden retriever.
That's what they say.
Hmm.
That's what they say.
In the best way. Okay.
Well,
Well,
I
I don't
want
know if
people to
we
let us
don't like
know.
that.
Yeah, but if you're looking at this story and the Camp Rock 3 world premiere, which if you can believe it, that's a
I
thing.
can't.
Tell us which of them has the best look. And again, Marissa Machado killed it with all of them, but we want to know like what
Love.
are your thoughts?
Go
Anyway,
ahead.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for thank you so much to our contributors and editors for this week's beauty news, and don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetease.com.
Now stay tuned for our interview with Tara.
Terra Harvell is the founder and CEO of Harper Ellis Hair Co., an 8-figure beauty brand built on helping stylists create profitable, sustainable careers through premium hair extensions, education, and business strategy. After starting her career behind the chair as a young adult, she became passionate about closing the gap between technical talent and long-term financial success. Today, through Harper Ellis Co., Strata Salon Systems, and her advocacy for cosmetology education reform, Harvell is working to help salon owners and stylists build stronger businesses, develop leadership skills, and create lasting wealth. Tara, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. I am so excited to chat today.
I'm excited to have you, and I know that our listeners are as well. For those that are not familiar with you and your background, people that are meeting you for the very first time, if you could, and we do this of all of our guests, so bear with us,
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get to beauty? And then obviously, hairstylist to founder, that's a jump there. Educator, industry, these are lots of things. So I'd love to understand, like, how did this come to be?
absolutely. Well, I've been in the industry for 17 years, which I'm in denial about that number.
We
Because I
always are.
still
Whenever you put numbers to it,
I
tough.
know. I still feel like I'm, 22, or maybe I just wish I was. I don't know. But yeah, so I've been a hairstylist for 17 years. I haven't been behind the chair for the last now 6 years. And in the last 7 years, I've actually built a eight-figure extension company that primarily focuses on the education of the stylist and how to attract and scale through high ticket services. But kind of taking it back just a little bit, my most proud title is a hairstylist behind the chair. I love being a hairstylist. I love to
Mhm.
work with hairstylists. I love to help hairstylists. But the one thing that I've really learned in my last 17 years is a lot of us are stuck in roles, especially being a hairstylist, that's not scalable. And we are capped by time, and we are capped by a lot of things in this industry.
Mhm.
And so my mission for the last, especially 5 to 7 years, has been helping hairstylists and salon owners now break through that ceiling that sometimes our industry just naturally puts over us. And, as a stylist behind the chair, I was able to do, $750,000 working 4 days a week, which was an incredible career. But the
Mhm.
reality is, I was still tied to that income behind the chair. And the minute that my body quit working, or I just took a vacation,
Mhm.
that income stopped working, or, stopped coming in. And so now what I really find primarily focus on is I help hairstylists scale past being tied to that chair and being tied to just the 24 hours of the day. And also salon owners. My expertise is helping salon owners scale into the millions while also creating a valuable asset and an exitable business for their salon. So that's a little bit about me and what I do.
Casual, very, very brief, very top line. And we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, so
Yeah,
don't you worry,
love
listeners.
it.
We're gonna do right by you. I want to go back to the early days as a baby stylist. Your like first year or two. What did that look like for you? Being behind the chair versus in school.
Yeah.
What were the realities that you were confronted with that maybe didn't come up when you were trying to get licensed?
Yeah. As much as the hairstylist in me, the creative in me, the woman
Hmm.
in me, I want to
Hmm.
show up on things like this and say, I love to make people feel beautiful. I just always love doing hair, but that could not be farther from the truth. And sure, like, do I love making people feel beautiful? Yeah, who doesn't? Like,
Yeah.
that's great. But for me, I was a really sucky in school in high school. I was a terrible student. I was a terrible test taker. I had a low GPA. And I also had a brother that was a valedictorian. So
Oh,
it was like,
tough.
why is our journey so different, right? And so for me, it really was, I was like, you know what? This is easy for me to reverse engineer. I could take, five clients at $200 a pop a day and make $1,000 a day. And
Hmm.
so for me, and also to add on that, I grew up you could call it middle class. I would call it lower class now that I know what I know. My parents lived paycheck to paycheck. They were wonderful parents, nothing against them. It's just the world that we were stuck in.
Hmm.
And I just so badly didn't hate my reality, but I hated it enough to do something about it.
Mm.
And what the reality is this industry is a, multiple billion-dollar industry. There's so much room for us to win and build wealth, not just like have a great job, but have a great career. And so that was it for me. And not that I had all of those thoughts at 19 years old.
What do you
I
mean?
definitely did not. But it was as simple as, oh my God, I could make more money than my public school teacher mother does, and she has a degree in all of these things. So
Mhm.
that's what it was for me. It was the money, and I could do the math. I could do simple math at least. I wasn't, I took remedial math in college, the short semester that I went, but it was just easy math for me, and I knew I could make a great career. So that's why I got into it.
I love the honesty. This is the reality for a lot of people. I mean, some are yeah captivated by the thrill of it and whatever, but also the practicality of what a career in beauty can afford, literally. And so it's important, I think, to come from that angle. So I appreciate you talking about it as frankly as you did.
Yeah.
Would love to understand. I mean, as you continue to sort of reverse engineer, what were you coming up against in terms of barriers that would impact, your take home? Because obviously you did something about it,
Yeah.
and you are invested in helping others to make sense of it. But when you were trying to make sense of it, what was that where you were like, oh, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, listeners that are hearing this, and hearing from me maybe for the first time, you're probably gonna be like, "This woman is insane," and you are so correct. I am absolutely insane.
Aren't we
I
all?
I have no fear, and I know that has a lot to have to do with how I was raised and everything.
Hmm.
But so right out of cosmetology school, I moved out to Las Vegas. I packed everything I owned. I had like $300 in my bank account, and my mom loaned me a credit card that had, I think, a couple $1,000s to buy furniture. And I went out to Las Vegas. I got a job at a salon that the owner was my mentor.
Mm.
And well, from a distance, he didn't know he was my
Sure.
mentor, but I was like, this guy really has got it going on. And I drove my Mitsubishi Eclipse all the way to Las Vegas and found a roommate on Craigslist. So, hello, 17 years ago. Like, I don't think we do that nowadays, but back then, I mean, I'm alive,
Yeah,
the woman didn't kill
exactly.
me. Yeah, the woman didn't kill me, so here we are. But I did what I could because, my rent back then was $350. And I was like, all right, I can make minimum wage as an assistant and I can pay my rent in Las
Hmm.
Vegas. But the key about that phase was back then, 17 years ago, hair extensions were very, people hid the fact that they had hair extensions. And now it's
Hmm.
like a subtle brag, and it's like every woman you look at has hair extensions. Well,
Hmm.
in Las Vegas, they were a little ahead on their times, and probably just because of the industries that are out there,
Yep.
there was a ton of hair extensions. And so I assisted these stylists that would walk, one would do a color, they would walk their client to the front desk and check out for $250. Well, extension stylists would walk and it'd be 3 grand in cash, So I'm like, okay, that's the road that I want to go down.
Hmm.
So ever since, very early in my career, and that was such an advantage for me, I learned what high ticket services did for the hairstylist and how they worked not harder, they worked smarter. And so I really built my career around that. But my barrier was this broken mindset. And this is what I want. This is what I really
Let's get into
specialize
it.
helping, hairstylists think around this, because we teach, thousands of hairstylists how to do hair extensions. But the first thing I hear from them is, oh my God, my clients will never pay that price. And they
Hmm.
couldn't be more wrong. They could not be more wrong, because I am one of those people that truly believes this industry has no recession. It's recession proof, because women would spend their last dime on beauty. You cannot, I know that I would. If I have $100, I can tell you 99 of that is going to me looking good and feeling good. And so the truth of the matter is a lot of us come from a really broken mindset. Even myself, I grew up, parents living paycheck to paycheck. But the longer that I trained myself to stay in my client's pocketbook, thinking that they
Hmm.
don't have the cash, or not, even if they don't have the cash, how many times have we bought things that we can't afford?
Hmm.
Every day. The world
Hmm.
does it every day. So I know that no matter what, and mind you, that huge clientele, $750,000, was built in a town of 80,000 people. I am not in big city. I think people hear those numbers like, oh, she must
Hmm.
be in LA. She must,
Hmm.
no, guys, I'm in the armpit of America in Arkansas, and I built that in 80,000 people. So it's a broken mindset. So until hairstylists start to realize the way that you're thinking is what's holding you back, it's going to be hard to tap into that. But I got over that really early, and that was a barrier. Now it's my biggest asset, and I don't have that broken mindset, holding me back. And so I was able to break into that and build just a really amazing career behind the chair, because of high ticket services. So, yeah.
Obsessed. Couldn't be clearer. I want to know when you were getting into extensions. I mean, taking us back, things have changed, obviously, thankfully, and you have your own brand, which we're going to get to. But those early days, what did training look like? How did you become an extension specialist? Obviously, the want was there. You understood that's a much higher value ticket. This makes sense if I want to be making more money and take care of myself. But the jump to being skilled to take on those clients and to execute that service, obviously, it took time. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about what those days were like.
Yeah, oh my gosh, such a great question, because back then it was YouTube University.
Uh-huh.
And I will never forget, my very first extension client is now the wife of my business partner, who's been my business partner now for almost a decade.
Oh, wow.
And so she's still in my life, and we talk back to those times a lot. I think I glued hair extensions from Sally's to her scalp. Okay. And so we talk about those days. And then I went to like beads. I would try out these beads, but they would slip out every day. And she's like, whoa, my hair's falling out. I'm like, okay, you know, but then these certifications started coming into play. And I
Hmm.
was a stylist that, just wanted to get educated. And the one thing about, like Harper Ellis, our certification to teach stylists, I think it's like $3,200. We have to realize one install will pay for that. Like your ROI is just like, who wouldn't trade 32 for the annual value of a client to be 7,000, right? It's
Hmm.
like the ROI is right in front of your face. And so now, we have this huge course and mentorship and 2-day live training for our stylists, but that's not what it was back then. But I did migrate into those trainings in order to get better and better until I felt like, okay, I've got all these trainings under my belt. Now I have to create something that works for me, because there's so many reasons, and I'm sure that could be your next question. There's so many reasons why other methods and trainings just didn't work for me. And I
Hmm.
had to create something new. It forced me to scale. So yeah.
Well, let's get into that. You mentioned the brand Harper Ellis. Why found a brand? This is not a path for everyone, and it can be quite thankless. I mean, we've had plenty of entrepreneurs, brand founders on the pod where they talk about the struggles. Obviously, there's benefits and payoffs. I want to understand, like, what brought you to the point of like, I'm gonna build my own brand.
I love that you say that, because when I tell this story, I think other people in this industry or any part of the beauty industry, creating a brand and a company seems so shiny penny.
Hmm.
You're like, whoa, that's what I want to go do. And of course, like who doesn't want to be a founder, right?
Hmm.
But also in the midst of building this 8-figure company, which is now Harper Ellis Hair Company, and I'll go through the whys behind that. I almost tanked my salon. I almost lost it. And now I've turned that around with
Hmm.
you know thousands and thousands of hours of work. But the reason why is back 10 years ago, when the weft extensions really started working its way into the market.
Hmm.
I basically had 70, 80 hair extension clients in my client list, and all of the hair went bad, like literally in 1 month. It was like 2 to 3 months, but in 1 month, all the hair started like crawling and like breaking off. And so I had to replace about $30,000 worth of bad extension hair for my client list. And I was like,
Ugh.
oh my gosh, screw this. Like, I don't want to, this is too much. And also, too, those of you that are in customer service that are listening to this, what a nightmare to get a client call you and be like, my hair is like matted to my head. And you're like, oh, I don't know why. You didn't create that product. And
Yep,
so,
yep, yep.
yeah. And so, they're mad at you. And then
Hmm.
all you know to do is just give their money back or replace the product, which is like, oh, just such a cycle of it's a
Hmm.
nightmare. But
Hmm.
I took matters in my own hands, and I know a lot of people do that. But the difference is, now, and I've watched this happen over the last several years, a lot of people are creating extension brands, and
Hmm.
it's because, these Chinese factories have really started to prey over hairstylists, and I see this
Hmm.
happening a lot. And the reality is, when I first went over, I flew over to China, and I'm like, I want to see this for my own eyes. And I found at the time was not a huge manufacturer. Like they were small guys. And I was
Hmm.
just like, I don't know that your product is great, but if you will listen to me, I will help you perfect this product, because the problem with what you're creating is you're not a hairstylist. You don't work with it every day. And so now, fast forward, makes it sound very uh, easy, but it definitely wasn't. We have a patent process, and that's what we use with Harper Ellis hair extensions. And just to like on that, we replace 2 out of every 1,000 wefts. So that's how great our return rate is. It just doesn't happen because we have
Hmm.
such great quality. Clients are only having to replace their hair no less than a year, and that's especially if they're taking care of it the right way. But my point of that is that took years. That process that I talked about took years. And I'll be honest with you, I was preyed on by these Chinese factories, and I was sent $50,000. It was the last 50 grand that I had in my bank account. We invested into hair. They sent me all 50 grand worth of bad hair, and I sent it out to customers. So my business almost actually bankrupt at the very beginning. And I was like, okay, so I made it right.
Hmm.
I got a loan, and I found a new product and a new the company that I work with now,
Hmm.
and I replaced all of those customers' bad hair. I replaced it all because I didn't I'm like, I'm gonna blow my reputation right
On the
here at
first.
the start. And so these are the stories that I think a lot of these founders, maybe they don't have them, but they're not telling. And I'm like, this is the reality of like creating a brand. And now we're a decade into this brand, and we've helped hairstylists and salon owners create over $305 million in new revenue, which is a stat that
Oh,
I'm
incredible.
the most proud of. I love impacting. I love hairstylists and salon owners can be so rich. Like it's just crazy. They really can
Hmm.
if they're doing the right things. And that's what I love to do. So it gets me out of bed every day. But the whys came from my own struggles and the gap in the industry and the quality. But then when it came to hair extensions, and I think you guys, I get so tired of hearing these method creators out there. They're like, my way is the only way. And, what the hell? It's not rocket science, guys. It's just hair, you
Hmm.
know? So with me, I don't really take that approach. Like, sure, is it safe on the scalp? Well, duh. If it wasn't, we wouldn't have scaled this fast, right? But what it is, it's fast because I don't have time to spend 7 hours with a client.
Hmm.
And I can install a row of extensions in 15 minutes and collect that $3,000 paycheck and call it a day. And my client's happy and I'm happy. And then it's a
Hmm.
win-win for everybody. And so that's what I built my business around, not these emotional things that our industry loves to talk about. The damage, yeah, that's very important. But it's like, no, let's talk about how we all win. How does the client win? How does
Hmm.
the hairstylist win? That's how you
Hmm.
scale and build a big business.
Well, to that end, involves education. So, how are you approaching education for the Harper Ellis stylist that's using your product, that is installing quickly, but safely, such that everybody's winning? Talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, obviously, you learned the hard way. YouTube University, very different than the education you're offering. So, talk to me about that consideration.
Yeah. So, when someone comes into our ecosystem, they
Hmm.
do naturally start at our like certification program.
Hmm.
But I'm really bad, and my team always reminds me, they're like, people don't just go to business. They don't like know that they need this business. I'm really
Hmm.
bad about being like, guys, it don't matter how good you are at hair. That's like 10% of your career. You got to learn how to run a business. You got to learn the economics of your books. Like, how many high ticket services does it take you to hit this target, right?
Hmm.
And so we have a program called the Extension School of Business, and I'm so proud of this program because that's where we really like focus with our stylists and the salon owners. And then, of course, now I'm partnering with salon owners all over the U.S. to help scale to build a wealthy exit. That's my big dream. We can talk about that in a little bit,
Yep.
but um, I want the hairstylists to understand what it like what are the numbers? What are the data? Let's not lead with emotion. This industry can be so emotional. I'll get on
Hmm.
that side of TikTok. We all have. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God, the economy is killing my books. And I'm like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, just lead with the data. Lead with the data, set a target, reverse engineer, and lead with the data. And so we teach hairstylists how to do that. And that's why we have such a big stat of how much revenue we've helped them create, and also profitable revenue. It's not just revenue, it's very profitable revenue. And that's because we teach them how to run their books, how to strategize. Also, that huge marketing piece. You got to become the obvious choice in your market, which, by the
Mm.
way, guys, is not hard to do because no one's doing it, right? So, how much do you have to do to beat everyone around you that's not doing much? Well, not a lot, right?
Mm.
And so we teach that marketing piece, that strategy piece to get those stylists to a place where they are the obvious choice and they are the authority so that people know they're the best and they should come sit in their chair and they can name their price. So,
Talk to me a little bit about, I mean, you'd mentioned at the top of this convo, the sort of broken mindset. What you're describing is a mindset shift,
totally.
very much so. You're saying like people not doing very much, like you can do just a little and you're winning. How do you sort of foster that sense of pragmatism? Like so much of
Yeah.
what you're talking about is just like it's pretty common sense. Remove a little bit of the emotion from it. Look at the numbers as you've been saying, and then approach it a little bit differently. Talk to me about how your approach is informed by encouraging the shift.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, because I now lead a team of 50 plus employees, I've
Hmm.
obviously had to invest a lot of time in leadership and also the psychology around the beliefs of people and how they operate. And I love it. I think I love it so much because our industry, I think this is what our industry struggles with the most, right? We're so emotional. We live in everyone's pocketbooks. Not only that, it's like you get one client no show and you're like, oh my God, my whole clientele hates me.
Uh-huh.
Suddenly everything is ending, you know?
Let me take to TikTok to talk about it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go TikTok. Exactly. And so I love this side of it because when I can get a hairstylist, and I have so many success stories inside of our programs that, I'll get a hairstylist. I have this one that I'm thinking of right now. She literally was about to exit the industry. She'd been in it for like 15 plus years.
Mm.
And she was like, I've just given it my all. I can't do this anymore. I want to go find another career. And she came into our class. I'll never forget her first time walking in my doors. She was so broken. Like, just, you could see it in her eyes. She was broken, just lost, didn't know what to do, emotional. I mean, she was eaten alive with her internal feelings about her own business. And we've spent the last 2 to 3 years together in our programs. And now, I mean, she's having, $20,000 months. She's working 4 days a week. She has
Hell
the
yeah.
freedom that this industry can give. So it's just a very different life now. But it took that coaching of like, stop being so emotional. Just look at the data. Like, look at the data. You don't know if you're winning if you don't have a scoreboard, right?
Hmm.
But it is a mindset shift because what I've learned about people and especially hairstylists is you have to want to get out of that mindset. You have to want to think differently and be able to grow your belief lid. And how you do it here, the hack is very simple. Go hang out with someone that doesn't have a belief lid. Go put yourself in rooms that probably makes yourself so incredibly uncomfortable. Go have conversations with people that think bigger, are doing bigger things, and have the stats. And that's how you do it because that's my hack. I have a list of mentors and I go force myself into their lives. As a matter of fact, one of my mentors is hopefully going to be soon to be one of my business partners, but I have forced myself in her life. I've offered to do her hair for free for like a year. I flew out to her every 6 weeks, like whatever it takes, go get in the room with someone who believes bigger, operates at a different level, and I promise you, you will notice a huge shift. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm. Mm. Okay, that's an important takeaway, I think. But you're doing more than the sort of individual coaching. You're really advocating for big changes. I want to get to that, but I want to start a little bit with what we, I think, understand to be a failing of the school system. Talk to me, if you could, about your POV, cosmetology education in 2026. What are the biggest gaps? What are the things that you're finding are just like not changing, that are not setting up future stylists for success?
yeah. This is an important subject for me because I had to have financial aid to go to cosmetology school.
Hmm.
But I have some different feelings about it. And if you're listening to this, you're probably going to be shocked at my opinion on it. Because it's not the same as what you'll see out there. My answer is to not go attack the government of what's happening.
Hmm.
I think we attack our own industry. We go look in the mirror, right? And so it all starts at that cosmetology level. And what I'm seeing is number one, and I had so many great instructors. So if any of
Hmm.
my old instructors and stuff, I'm so appreciative. Matter of fact, one of my instructors is one of the directors of one of my departments here in my company. So like
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I love the people in my life that have got me where I'm at today. So I'm not
Hmm.
trying to, but what's happening a lot of times is these instructors in the schools, their reality is they're broken hairstylists. They're hairstylists that, maybe they did have a passion for teaching, but they quit on building that career outside. And,
Hmm.
and the reason why I'm saying that, you guys, is because I know what instructors get paid. And I know it's not all about money. I am with you there. But you cannot tell me that someone signs up to work 6 days a week for this amount of money because they love it so much versus building a business outside of school or outside of the schools and behind the chair to create more freedom and more money for their family. You just can't tell
Hmm.
me that, So I'm not knocking on instructors. We need them, right?
Hmm.
But there needs to be some better qualifications on who is doing that and what is their messaging. So I think that starts there because a lot of what I'm seeing is these instructors are saying because it's an industry trend, they're going off of emotion, not data once again. And they're saying, hey, go be independent, go rent a booth somewhere.
Hmm.
And that's the answer.
Hmm.
Well, these poor kids and girls and boys don't have the, or even if you go to school later in life, it doesn't matter. You don't have the business acumen to go run a business because when you
Hmm.
sign up to be an independent hairstylist, you're a business owner, whether you
Yep.
like it or not. You got to pay your taxes like a business owner. You got to run your profit and loss like a business owner. You've got to figure out what that takes. But then what I'm learning is then they get out on their own and they're like, oh, I'm so profitable being independent, right? Well, maybe you are. I don't know. I would love to see the profit and loss. But the deal is that income scalable? Because if you're not scaling, you're going backwards.
Hmm.
So what they're signing up for is not scalable income. And so our industry gets stuck in this cycle of poverty. And I know people, oh, I hate that word too, but it's what's happening. And that's why so many hairstylists can't pay their loans back. And they also quit after, 2 to 3 years in this industry because it's hard to run your own
Hmm.
business.
Hmm.
Not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. And I'm the first person. I'm living the American dream. I have businesses, but I have also invested millions of dollars into my education, learning from mentors and learning from, just business acumen to be able to get to this point. And
Hmm.
so you have to be willing to invest, not just go pretend like you're just going to be a hairstylist while you have a business to run on your back. So the messaging is really messed up. On top of there's no business acumen being taught in these schools. And there also isn't in dentistry. There also isn't in a, law school.
Hmm.
But we don't necessarily have to go teach people how to run a profit and loss and do their bookkeeping and all of those things and the, economics of a book behind the chair. But we do need to warn them about that process. What does that look like for you? And I think that's easy curriculum. My goal right now, I want to be on the board in my state in Arkansas. I want
Hmm.
to be on the board of cosmetology because I want to offer up my time. I don't want to be lip service, you guys. I want to go. We built massive amounts of business curriculum inside of this industry. I will go offer that for free if every school will implement it today. I'll go give it away. I don't care what it takes. I just want stylists to win because we can. We have this opportunity at our fingertips, but things have to change. We have to look in the mirror before anything's going to change. So,
Well put. Talk to me a little bit about the financial unpreparedness. So, I mean, as you said, it's not in other fields terribly common to talk a lot about this, but in other fields, they're not necessarily pushing for
yeah.
the licensee to go it alone. And there certainly is a trend at the moment to do it independently. Like that's an easy pathway that people are able to sort of get around. And certainly it is a trend that is being pushed by various actors. Talk to me a little bit about the brass tacks. Like, what are people leaving school just not knowing? So obviously P&L, but like other things
Yeah.
that you think that they really ought to, because again, you've been advocating for it, and we're going to get into what that could look like.
Yeah. So the difference is, and I want everyone to think about this, our industry has really glorified this independent booth rental thing. And I know I keep harping on that.
Hmm.
And I'm not against it. I don't want anyone to
Hmm.
listen, but oh, she's just anti. No, I'm not. I'm for go build a business, go do it
Hmm.
and do it right so it can be scalable. That's what real freedom is, not
Hmm.
scaling your income, not like choosing your own schedule. Like, okay, we can do that. I trust me, I choose my own schedule. You know, like that's just a crazy conversation. But you don't see, plumbers or attorneys. You don't see this like world of a booth rental law firm. Like it's just not happening.
Hmm.
They're going to work under someone who is running the business and they're learning that through the process. Same with, HVAC, any blue collar.
Yep.
My team likes to call our industry pink collar, whatever you want to call it. I
Hmm.
like to call it black
Hmm.
collar because I only wear black. But, you know, it's this the same sort of like service-based mindset, but these people
Hmm.
aren't going out and just be like, well, I'm just going to run my own business. It's not work. It's not happening like that. And so what I want to see change is I believe, instead of maybe putting people up in these schools for 9 months, it's what it took me, the 1,500 hours, whatever it is, go let them work under someone that's running a great business that has
Hmm.
a qualified, like they've had to qualify themselves to be able to take apprentice inside of their business and
Hmm.
let them learn for 9 months. Like I couldn't
Hmm.
imagine because that's what I did when I got out of school.
Of
And if I
course.
could have pulled time forward and instead of spending 9 months in school, I would have
And
went
then,
out. Yeah. But like in my state, it's illegal. We can't have those things. I know like in Oklahoma right next to me, they can do that.
Mhm.
But like can we get a very even kill rules all over the 50 state? Why is it state by state? It's the same industry no matter what state.
Mhm.
And let's just set the people up for success because if they went and worked for a qualified actual instructor that's running a real business, is
Mhm.
a real hairstylist behind the chair that built a great business and they've met those metrics to be qualified, then they should be able to get an apprentice to teach them.
Mhm.
I just think it's a simple fix, but we're just not thinking outside the box because we are stuck in doing things the way that we always have.
No, and there's definitely proclivity towards this status quo that
Yeah.
again works for some, not for all, and that's a real reality that people are confronting it. And obviously, I mean, you talked about the chatter of changes that are coming or not coming, and one thing that's not being addressed is legislation, which is something that you are passionate about, which is again different than a lot of the conversations that we're having, where it's like, oh, lobby for this thing that's already, and we'll make this better. And you're saying like, let's approach it differently. So I would love to understand from your end, legislatively, what are things that you'd like to see happen? Because I think that this is all the room that we can offer to sort of complicate the picture for solutions that work.
Totally. I think where our industry, I think one thing too, and I can say this because I'm a hairstylist, we
Hmm.
we are looked down upon because we're hairstylists.
Hmm.
It's a
It's a
stereotype
reality.
that it is reality. And I think though what our group of, our industry is really quick to do is be like, well, that's not true. And I agree. I've beat that status quo.
Hmm.
I agree with that statement. However, people are looking at the data and the evidence in front of them. Those
Hmm.
stereotypes don't just come out of thin air. Like it just didn't drop from the sky and be like, hairstylists are going to be thought about in this way, right? And so it's the same with the government. And this is where, I never want to depend on anyone. I never want to depend on a man for crying out loud, much less the government in order for my success, right? And so
Hmm.
instead of just like going and lobbying against these people and saying, hey, what you're doing is wrong, let's go look at the data that they're gathering. And is it 100% accurate? No. But it's also they're looking at data where we're not reporting tips, we're taking Venmo and money under the table. So again, it goes back to it's just the data in front of them, right?
Hmm.
And so at that point, I think where the government can help us and where, the Department of Education is to help us just people like me or people that are running successful businesses, let us go sit on those boards and implement some rules and regulation to solve those stats, those metrics, and that data.
Hmm.
And that's how we can start from the government standpoint. The other side of it, it really is the industry that's got to do the work and do things right and probably just be held to rules and regulations in order to be independent, in order to work the way that we're working, because if not, we're going to see the same data over and over. And so
Hmm.
that's kind of how I feel against it. I think the government can really help us on those rules and regulations, but I think we can't change the data unless we change the data. So,
Well put, well put. And so what are the things that you're thinking that could be useful? I mean, in your advocacy. So working with policymakers,
yeah,
you're talking about regulation, rules, and what are
yeah,
you hoping?
yeah.
I mean, you mentioned, excuse me, being active in your state. Beyond that, like what's the aim?
Yeah, so I've been told that I have to start at my own state level to get anyone nationally, to pay attention to me. So that's
Hmm.
kind of why my process is that I want to be
Hmm.
over everything. I want to go big. I'm gonna go big or go
Yep.
home kind of girl.
Yep.
But I think, number one, with these cosmetology schools, I think we start with their curriculum regulations. We regulate the messaging, we regulate the curriculum that's being put out there, and we can start there. I think, the opposing thing, if they did defund our entire, and they might, guys, like
Hmm.
I want
Hmm.
everyone to be ready because it could be a thing. What's going to happen is these cosmetology schools will have to go, they may not completely go away, but their tuition will go very cheap. It will be cheap. And I'm not saying that that is the wrong thing, but I think a lot of us are really quick to be like, yeah, make it cheaper. That's the right thing to do. Well, cheaper to me means lower quality. So are we going to run back into this situation where if you're only paying a few $1,000s to go to cosmetology school, is that quality going to be so terrible that we now run back into the same stat, right?
Hmm.
And so I think to solve that is we hopefully can keep our funding because there's people like me out there that I just didn't have the parents that could pay for my, my schooling. And also too, even if they did, I think my parents are the type of parents to be like, pay for your own way. I'm not,
Hmm.
my money's my money. Your money's
Hmm.
your money. And so I think those regulations in cosmetology school in that curriculum is the first place to start. I think after that is allow, salon owners who are building great businesses, allow them to have apprenticeships inside of their salon. So, and those students can get hours for that, but it has to be qualified. You can't just send them, like, they should pass a test. They should meet metrics. Their P&L should be submitted to the government every single month, showing that they are profitable and they are
Hmm.
scaling. Because if those things aren't happening behind the scenes, then it doesn't do any good to send a student to learn from people that are also in the hamster wheel of poverty, right? And
Hmm.
so setting rules and regulations of who is teaching, we do this for public schools. My mom had to pass a test, and I
Yep.
know that cosmetology instructors also do. But it's about sanitation and skill. It's not about business. And so
Hmm.
we have to set some rules and regulations around that. And I think that's how we solve it.
So talk to me about Strata. What is the aim? Is this Strata Salon Systems part of your advocacy? Is it separate? Talk to me about sort of how it comes together and what its aims are.
Yeah, it has everything to do with it. It's also a little separate, but I want to explain, especially if salon owners or any beauty business owner out there is listening to this.
Hmm.
The reality is, and I made a TikTok about this today because I was like, I just want to see what people think. But the reality is, salons as a single unit, which is the most common, stat of a salon owner, you have one unit,
Hmm.
they're owner dependent, right? A lot of them are so owner dependent that the owner stands behind the chair and that's where the majority of the revenue comes in, right?
Hmm.
And so, where salon owners are not understanding is to build a valuable asset in your business cannot depend on you at all. Like, you have to be able to just literally, you have to become irrelevant in your own business, which I know sounds crazy for you business owners out there and you
Like
founders.
what?
Yeah, your founders out there, we call that like founder tendencies. Where like, this is my baby, I can't leave it. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but your business will never be an asset. Because if it depends on you and the minute you walk away, it disappears, you have a job, not a business, people. So go back 15 seconds, replay what
Play
I
that
just said.
again. Yep. Yep. That'll be
So,
clipped.
yeah. So with that, I need salon owners to understand and if you continue to build this business that's so dependent on you, and if you walk away, say you sold the business to one of your stylists, I want you to put yourself in this. And a lot of saloners are like, I don't want to sell. And I'm like, okay, that's not what this is about. It's about having the option. That's what freedom
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
having the option. Because your other option is everyone exits no matter what. You can either pass away, which hopefully that never happens to anyone, but it does every day. The other thing is you can sell your shampoo bowls on Facebook Marketplace. Like I see every day when I log on to Facebook Marketplace, I'm like, whoa, there we go, another salon shutting down, selling their equipment.
Hmm.
Or you can actually build a valuable asset that you can make a profit on and walk away. But the problem is, and this is just, from business economics, don't shoot the messenger. But if you got a single unit and say you make $1 million and you're 20% profitable, which is, by the way, way above the industry's benchmark, your EBITDA in a salon world is about 200,000. And let's just say you were able to exit for 2 to 3 times multiple, which is a great exit in a salon world, doesn't happen often.
Hmm.
Well, you're looking at a $600,000 check to walk away from that business if the business doesn't depend on you. But if you walk away and so do your stylist and so do the clients, the business goes
Hmm.
back to nothing. And so that's the problem that I'm fixing in this industry. And so I'm building the largest salon platform that is exitable because my goal, I have so many amazing stylists in my own salon, and I can't look at them in the eye, Jeffrey, and say, all there is for you is for you to live client to client until your body wears out and then it's over. I have a hard time as a leader setting people up for that. And so I'm wanting to build a massive platform, or I'm not wanting to build, I am building it currently,
Hmm.
where these stylists can have equity in an asset and they can have an exit and they can build wealth because this industry is a billion dollar industry. There is room for that. But if it's not orchestrated correctly and if it's not engineered to build an asset out of a salon, then the reality is salon owners out there, you guys don't have assets as much as you think you do. And guess what? Don't be that egotistical founder who thinks your kids want anything to do with your business, because my God, they do not probably. I mean, they might, but 9 times out
They
of 10, they
might.
don't. They
Nope.
don't.
And then they're the ones that are selling the salon equipment on Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, go hand them something that's not an asset and it's just a job that they have to, slave to for the rest of, forever. And so it's this, again, you go back to that cycle of poverty that our industry is in. And so that's what Strata Salon Systems is. It's an entire infrastructure for salon owners to not only engineer their business to be exitable and a valuable asset, but it also gives an opportunity to join my salon platform. Not every salon that is in that does, because you have to qualify. And when they join my salon platform, they become my partner. And if you don't play well in the sandbox, I don't sign you up to be my business partner. I'm just going to tell you that. And so we're building this massive platform that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars that has a massive exit. So these salon owners can create wealth, but also their teams can create wealth. And that's what I'm most excited about, because that can be done in this industry. And that's what I'm building. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Tara, where can people find out more? So, I mean, if they do qualify, um, where do they go to find out even the bare minimum about this? Because I'm sure that there's going to be lots of interest.
Oh, absolutely. So the best way, because I love to talk to people, and I do have a team that runs my social media, but it is mainly me in my inbox, I will say.
Great.
Especially if you're a salon owner, I'm like, team, stay away from them. I want to
Yeah.
talk to them.
This is mine.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at the Terra, and Terra is spelled Terra, Harvell, Harvell. You can go to the link in my bio, and I actually have a business breakpoint quiz. And what the breakpoints are is I've engineered the salon business to be scalable according to your revenue. So what is the most constraint that you have now, based off of your revenue and where you're at? Because a lot of salon owners, they want to work on like 7 years away problems, not today's problems. That's why they never scale. And so that quiz will tell you exactly why you're not scaling. And from there, you get in contact with my team and we can tell you all about the process and what it looks like to work with us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But
Hell
by
yes.
the way, if you're listening to this,
Mhm.
salon owners, I only want to work with you if you are willing to have an open mindset and you are willing to have a bigger belief lid to believe that your business can be run differently and safely while keeping your stylist and while scaling your team, but you have to have a new mindset. So
That's fair. That's a good qualifier. Skepticism not welcome in this
no,
regard.
no, gotta be
And
able to go for it.
exactly. And everything will be included in the show notes. So we'll make it nice and easy. You guys can get a hold of Tara in that way.
Yeah.
Before we get into our quick takes, talk to me a little bit about your own growth. I mean, you mentioned like where you started, where you're at now, all of these businesses, all of the wealth that you're hoping to have others to accumulate. Um, what has this been like? What are like some of the bigger challenges that you faced along the way? I mean, I'm sure there's little ones and big ones. Let's start there.
Yeah, I love to talk about my stats because the reason why is because a lot of time when I'm listening to someone, I'm like, oh, that might be someone to follow, but what have they really done?
Hmm.
That's where my skepticism comes in because I'm like, wait, tell me about your business. How profitable is
Uh-huh.
it? Like, what have you done? So I
Well,
would love
especially
to
this
share.
industry, there's a lot of snake
Yeah.
oil stuff
There
going
is.
on.
There is. So my salon, right now I'm actually launching a brand new salon in California. I'm in Santa Clarita, California. But my flagship location here in Fort Smith, Arkansas, we're doing around 1.4 million. We have 27% profitability. The main flex on that though is my average revenue per stylist is 180,000. So with the benefits and with everything like the revenue share and all the things that we offer, they are mostly taking home the six-figure mark. Take home, not revenue. They're taking that home in your pocket. Granted, maybe my newer stylist that just got out of the assistant program might not be yet, but my brand new stylist that just got out of the assistant program just hit 17,000 this month, by the way. So
Incredible. Incredible.
crazy stats are
Yep.
happening inside
Yep.
my salon. And so with that, we've also partnered with the people through that salon platform, and they're having the same results. And so it's just been repetitive, which has been awesome.
Hmm.
Harper Ellis have grown that to be an 8-figure business, very profitable business, and we're scaling super quick because of the education. I just want to be real, and the quality of the product. But it's because of how we're helping stylists and helping them grow and actually get a result. I mean, let's be honest. If you're going to buy something, you want a result. That's what you're looking for. My husband and I are in multifamily real estate. That's one of our wealth assets that we are investing in. When I leave my son, I have a 5-year-old. I'm a mom. I have a 5-year-old. That's the hardest job. Mothers out there, you guys did not warn me that that's way
Reach.
harder than scaling a business. I'm like, whoa, suddenly you are a 5-year-old with a mouth, and this is hard. So yeah, those are all the things that, we're into and what we do. We live on my dream ranch here and actually in Oklahoma. And I live a really good life, but I've engineered it. It didn't just
Mm.
come on my doorstep. I've
Hmm.
engineered that. And, I think you asked about my biggest obstacle. It's just been getting out of my own way because
Mm.
everyone can design their dream life. I'm in my dream marriage, but I don't want anyone to hear this and be like, yeah, 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 good for you. I'm over here struggling. Go touch grass.
Hmm.
I get it. I get it. I've been there. I've been in a bad marriage. I've been poor. I have not been able to pay my bills. I've had credit card debt up to my eyeballs. And so I literally just woke up one day, Jeffrey, and I said, enough is enough.
Mm.
Redesign your life. You have an industry at your fingertips that you're good at, that you care about. Go build something awesome that actually impacts other people. And that's the thing. I've really focused on impacting other people, and the money comes. When you're helping other people win, it comes to you.
Mm.
And that's what I've really been able to do. And I love this industry. I think stylists and salon owners, the beauty industry in general, all over, makeup, I just think it's such an incredible, fun industry. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's why I'm here.
I love the way that you're talking about this. And I think that so many people feel the same way, that there's like this deep love and appreciation for the industry and for the people that make it up. And it doesn't necessarily always do right by itself, but like we can do better. And I think like you do sound like you touch grass plenty often. It
I
sounds like,
do. I live on
again,
a
like
ranch, so I do.
I was gonna say, like you're very practical, all this stuff. All right,
Yeah.
let's get into, if we could, a little bit of
Yeah.
future projection. 10 years from now, what are you hoping for? Because I
Yeah.
know we literally just talked about you got to deal with today versus the 7 year, 10 year, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
let's dream. You've architected this. You've built
Yeah.
this life.
Yeah.
What do you hope to build or have built rather 10 years from now?
Yeah. I love this question because I am very in tune with the future me. I've had to be because
Mm-hmm.
visualizing and putting myself in future me is what brings me there every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually building the exit that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm orchestrating that in the next 5 years.
Okay.
And I'm doing that because I want to continue to run that play over and over. My goal is to impact 150 to 200 salon owners and help them build real wealth, not just make great money. I mean, that's a plus along the way,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to help them build real wealth and also their team members. And so I want to be able to have the power to walk through any door that I want to, not because of I want the power, but because I know that I have the potential and the capability to help people.
Mm.
And but that also takes work to get to that point where people trust you. You got to build a stat, right? And so in 10 years, I will probably be exited from a business. My son will be 15 then and probably in sports if he's
Mm-hmm.
interested in what he's interested in now, or whatever he likes to do. I don't really care. I just want to be able to be available, but be one of those rich moms that just I can afford whatever. And also just be able to look back and go, look at how many people I've impacted.
Mm.
And I truly want to be able to drop him off at practice with the peace of mind and freedom, the financial freedom, but also, I've kept those relationships that I love along the way. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I just want to impact. Like I think about that a lot. My deathbed, it's a little morbid.
Mm-hmm.
Like what
No,
matters?
no, no. It's the
And
kids. When you have a kid, you start thinking about
it
shit like that.
is. It is. And I often, think about that. I'm like, what would I want to be so proud of? And a year ago, I had this like near death crazy experience. I had a wild spinal leak that they couldn't find for quite some time. I had to have this whole like spine surgery and all these things. And, that really hit me hard in this industry because those kind of things happen to hairstylists all the time, and
All the
it ends their career on the spot.
Mhm.
And so I think about that day a lot, and that event in my life really got to me thinking just like what's important to you in your life. And I just want to help other people make more money. And I know people like, yeah, you want to make more. Of course I want to make more money myself. Don't get it twisted. I want to make more money too. I like nice things, but we just have such opportunity. And I think because of my ability to see into the future and see the opportunity and be a realist, like you said, about the data and the stats that's happening in front of us, I can help these stylists and salon owners who are a little emotional become unemotional and be able to drive a result for their family. So, yeah.
I love that. All right, Sarah, let's do our quick takes. These are the questions we ask of all of our guests, and then we'll let you get back to doing all of the things because you are
Love it.
quite busy as established here.
I have enjoyed this. It's been so fun.
No, it's been great, but I don't want to keep you anymore. You got shit to do. If you could instantly master one skill, what would it be? It does not have to be hair related. So, like, what comes to mind? What is something that you can't do that you want to be able to do?
Yeah. So you said the word master. So that would mean that I
Mhm.
have mastered it. The people skill, the people game, leading people, helping people grow. I think leadership gets confused. You are only a leader when you've actually led other people to be great leaders and be successful themselves. Great leaders make success easy for other people. I want to master that skill. So
I'm confident that you're going to get there. I feel like you're more than halfway. Won't be too hard for you.
yeah.
What is a current go-to song or album? What are you listening to?
Oh my gosh. I'm a Teddy Swims lover. Like my husband is sometimes like, I think you love him a little too much. I'm like, I don't know. But anything that man does when he opens his mouth is gold. So
Perfect, perfect, perfect. What is a hair color cut or trend that you're secretly obsessed with, or maybe not so secretly because we're going to put on the pod?
hair extensions, anything that involves hair extensions, of course. But I love the classic, just blonde, lots of layers.
Mhm.
I know I might be explaining my hair right now. I don't know, but I
If they're
love
not
hair
watching
extensions.
this, they won't
Yeah,
know.
I love hair extensions. So yeah,
Perfect, perfect. Dream celebrity client. Let's do behind the chair, but then let's also talk about for brand. So is there like a again behind the chair first?
yeah,
Who would you
yeah,
want to work with? Who would you want to have your hands in their hair?
yeah. I love Anne Hathaway. I'm a Devil Wears Prada lover.
Hmm.
So I love her. But
Okay.
that's I'm sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. For brand, for Harper Ellis Hair, who is a celeb where you're like, they are the dream and I
Yeah.
want them involved in some capacity?
Yeah, I love Chris Appleton. And I know that seems like but I just like what he stands for. I read
Hmm.
his book.
Hmm.
I just think he's a freaking cool human being, and I want to work with him, and I will.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm very confident that that's going to
Yeah,
be something that we'll be talking about at some point in the future.
yep, absolutely.
What is a tiny thing that made you smile this week?
I smile all the time, but probably my son. We decided literally last night that Monday we're gonna take him to the Bahamas for a few days, and he was so excited. He asked if they had chicken nuggets at this resort that we're going to, and I'm like, if I could just have that simple of a mindset and be
Uh-huh.
that excited about something so simple, would be great. So
I
yeah,
love that. I love that. Tara, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and to understand a little bit of all of the things that you're up to. Again, for our listeners who are meeting you for the first time, where can they find you, find more about you, more about the businesses? Let's do some plugs. And again, this will be in the show notes. We'll make it nice and easy for everybody.
love that. Yeah, on Instagram, I feel like that's where I'm most active, or even
Mhm.
TikTok. It's the same handle, but it's
Mhm.
at the Terra Harvell. My hair extension company is Harper Ellis Hair Co. And that's what it is on Instagram. And that's the best place to find me and find or Strata Salon Systems is another Instagram handle that we run all the business stuff through. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And you're a great interviewer, by the way. You ask
Oh,
wonderful questions, and so it's just been great to be on here. We love the teas. I think
oh,
it's one of my guilty pleasures. I love to scroll the feed of the teas
hell
and all
yeah.
that. So
Oh, well,
yeah,
thank you. That means a lot. But yeah, we'll have you back on here. We're going to talk about all the other things that you're doing very quickly, I'm sure.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.
I was really interested in this one because she breaks down quite clearly like how much money is to be made via extensions. And I think like there's
Yes.
so much on the table that people are just not taking into consideration.
I mean, agree. I always say that if I were a pro right now, I would be an extension specialist because I could crank 1 to 2 a day. Did you do the simple math? I mean, I know what I pay, and you're like, I could do 2 of these a day for 4 days or 3 days times 4 weeks times 56. I mean, yeah, girl. Get it.
Yeah. So, and I love, I mean, we talked about queen bee energy at the beginning of this, and Terra is the farthest thing from it. Is all about lifting up and building real, meaningful, sustainable careers for people. So I loved this.
Love it. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Autobach is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to the creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.